Moving on to my next subject here, and that will be Anthony Davis and the Los Angeles Lakers. Um, when will Anthony Davis be the guy for the Los Angeles Lakers? The Los Angeles Lakers, faithful West Coast ballerinas, I call them, fans, are waiting for Anthony Davis to take that leap, take that next step, and be that guy. And to rely on LeBron James, who is still going in his 21st season to carry the Los Angeles Lakers, is very, very, very a troublesome sight for the Los Angeles Lakers so far. Anthony Davis averaging 21 and a half points per game, 12.1 rebounds, nearly 3 blocks a game, and nearly 3.5 assists a game. So you're thinking that and you're looking at that. Those are pretty good numbers. But in terms to be that guy, he should be averaging at least where LeBron James is at 25 points per game and providing that on a nightly basis. And so far this season, he hasn't been able to keep that consistency of play night to night where the Lakers desperately need him. He's only missed one game so far this season, which is a plus for them. But looking at Anthony Davis so far this season, you have to look at his productions in wins and losses, and that's just what it is. In wins, he's at 24.3 points per game, nearly 13 rebounds a game, and in losses, he's at 17 points per game and roughly around 11 rebounds a game. So looking at that, you see the significant drop-off of point production, which is basically what people are looking at superstars. They're looking for them to average 25 plus. Looking at Anthony Davis, who has been struggling so far in the season, and even against that last game against the Dallas Mavericks, he only had 10 points with 13 rebounds on only 10 shots in the game. And that's pretty much not going to get it done, looking at it from that standpoint. Looking at Anthony Davis, just looking at him, seeing him play over the past couple of games, it always seems like he's gassed, like something's going on with him. Stephen A. Smith said about a week ago that he thinks he's out of shape. Whatever the case may be, I don't know if it's an asthma thing, but he definitely does look gassed in certain situations. And trying to fill the void defensively for the Los Angeles Lakers, I think that's really something that people are kind of glossing over. He has to do a lot of rotation coverage and battling on the glass and stuff like that, and maybe that's just wearing him down to where sometimes he just doesn't have it on some nights. And people are now looking at versus LeBron James, who was doing all these putting on, who just recently went over 39,000 points, and seeing his production on a nightly basis, and seeing the gas tank having to be exhausted to win these games in early November, desperately need. They started off the season 3-5. And in their last couple of games have been 6-2. In their last 8, they're 6-2. So they're getting that production, but then you have these duds from Anthony Davis that bellow the cries of the Laker faithful of what's going on. We're paying this guy. He's supposed to be the guy. He's supposed to be the franchise guy. So we're looking at LeBron. We're looking at LeBron doing all these great things into year 21. And you just got to look at the pace they play. They're really in the middle of the pack of the league. They're really not shooting the ball that well, and that's something that has been an Achilles heel for the past couple of years, where the Lakers have tried to figure out something there. How can they get into that? Yes, looking at that Los Angeles Lakers shooting the ball, not particularly great from three, and that was a problem last season, where they are second to last in attempts, and bottom 5 in efficiency from three-point range. So looking at the Lakers, they're very constricted on offense, and I think the thing that they have to do is rely on their defense like they did a couple of years ago, and I think that's something that they're going to just have to stick with until they can figure out their offensive woes. Because obviously, offensively, they're struggling and they're trying to figure it out. They're not shooting the ball well. They do get to the line. They do shoot it efficiently from the field, but their three-point shooting is not the best in the league. It's not something where they're like OKC, who doesn't shoot that many, who doesn't shoot that many three-pointers, but then are efficient enough to be tops in the league. The Lakers just aren't that. They're not an efficient team from deep, and I think that's constricting the offense and making it difficult to hang in these games, build leads, and win games, as we saw there against the Dallas Mavericks the other night, where they got in a hole and tried to make a comeback, and then a late three from Kyrie Irving sealed the game for the Dallas Mavericks. But yeah, just looking at Anthony Davis, he's going to have to figure out a way to step up. I know Darvin Ham said that he wanted him to take at least 6 threes a game. He really hasn't been doing that. I believe he's only at what? He's only at a couple a game. He's shooting less than one three a game, which I think that Darvin Ham was looking at that from that standpoint of saying, we need you to spread the floor. And if you're doing that and you're taking a couple points where you can make a bunch of threes, you don't have to bang in the paint. You don't have to bang on the glass like that. So I think that's something that he wanted to institute because he knew this team was going to struggle shooting the ball and needed Anthony Davis to kind of help in that regard. Obviously, they try to get some bunch of shooters over the offseason, Cam Reddish and Gabe Vincent. Trying to find that. Gabe Vincent hasn't shot pretty well. He hasn't played much this season. Cam Reddish is only shooting 34%. So they're trying to find some type of release valve on this offense and just haven't been able to find it. Austin Reeves is playing better, but not to the level where I think the Laker faithful want him to play. D'Angelo Russell is up and down. You don't know what you're going to get from him, even though he's a third consistent scorer for them. But they're really looking at Anthony Davis really, really hard now, saying, we need you to step up there in LA for this team to take the next step. Let me get to my next segment